Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show, as always, are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Ooh. Here we go. Good morning. Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your host, Matt and Jay, Steve. Woohoo! Beautiful day in the neighborhood. It got really hot yesterday. It's probably going to get really hot again today.
And it's going to be hotter in Michigan.
And the UV index is really high as well. So if you go outdoors, be sure you wear a hat, sunglasses, and sunscreen.
And then put on the extra heavy sunscreen. From what I understand, you can have a nice 30 or 40 and still get burned.
Oh, yeah, I got 70. SPF 70.
And yeah, it's really easy to get burned.
And I still tanned through it, I think. All right, so good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today.
It's a lovely day.
Well, you can hear my sinuses, can't you? Just like...
Yeah, you sound you sound nasally a little bit. Folks,
not like Willie Nelson did. All the girls I've loved before.
that was good.
I'm in it on my door.
Well, that's where I was going with that, but hey, you did a better job.
Yeah, that's great musician though.
Yeah, he's like in his mid-80s.
It's funny because people were talking about that time that his bus got pulled over and
Oh yeah, I remember.
and they found pot on there, and I'm like, just knowing it's Willie Nelson's bus is just cause.
Yeah,
You
why
know?
don't you just put a picture of a plant on the side of his
Probable
bus?
cause.
Probable cause, yeah, probable cause.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
I bet you it was a nice smell, a perfume type smell when you walked in the bus.
Kind of
I'm
reminded of that
sure.
movie
Walking
Up in
by it.
Smoke when they're driving around that bus that's made entirely of weed, and it's got the exhaust is burning.
Catches it on fire.
Yeah, and so they're just going around getting everybody high on weed everywhere they go. Those are silly movies.
Well, not speaking of
Terrible.
weed, but unfortunately, good buddy, friend, everybody's country legend.
Rattlesnake Eddie.
No, not Rattlesnake Eddie. We just had a celebration for him, and what a wonderful. I mean, Patrick Haygood put it all together. Put the show together for Debbie, and it was quite a memorial. He really deserved everything and more. He really did. But what I was going to say was Charlie Daniels passed away.
Oh yeah, I heard about that yesterday. Before we get any further into that, sorry, that's a
No,
horrible.
No.
It's a horrible note to
Let's segue into something nice.
well.
and
Speaking of passing on to, no, I'm just kidding. No, but that's I should have
moving on.
should have done this first and
Yes.
foremost.
The bad news first, and then now the good news.
Now the good news. The good news is that this show is sponsored by Steamy Joe Cafe, 224 West Main Street in Branson, Missouri. That's 417-320-3046. Now until July 10th, through the week, Monday to Friday. Is it on the weekends also?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well,
now until July.
except for Sunday.
Yeah, because they don't work on Sunday, do they?
No, they're closed.
Okay. Well, okay, so you go in there between now and the 10th, and you tell them you want the Morning Drive special, and that is buy one, get one free cinnamon rolls. So
Yeah.
basically, you're getting a cinnamon roll on us.
Hey, there you go. And
Anyways,
it does work.
It does work. You said you were sitting there, and 3 people while you were sitting there came in and ordered the Morning Drive special.
Yes,
And
they
you
did.
only knew one of them.
Yes.
And the cinnamon rolls definitely work.
They're amazing. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yep.
Just
It's the only yellow house on the
And-
Main Street, right?
Yes.
and they'll
it
put
is.
they'll put a pat of butter on there for you and warm it up,
Yep.
and
I'll tell you what.
I can imagine it. It's
And
so
then with
good.
a fork, and you it's like you cut it with the fork, and it's just so spongy. It's so moist.
Yeah, because
Oh
I don't want no dry cinnamon rolls.
no, that I've had those.
I don't like
and-
those ones where it's like chewing on stale bread that's cinnamon flavored. These
Yeah, I
these
like
are
Cinnamon flavored dry bread.
yeah. If
And they're
you're
right down the street from that big shopping mall, right by the water, right
Yep.
off the lake.
Yep.
yeah, so if you go in there and you order the morning drive special, hope you don't plan on eating anything for a few hours at least, because these things are
Yeah,
massive.
you'll that's a meal in itself. By the way, Peggy Lee and Jeff with the G are stopping by Saturday.
Yay!
So they're going to stop by before the show and everything.
Steve, Mickey, Mac, and I will be there on Saturday at 2:00. We're gonna do a little bit of recording, and we'll broadcast it live as well as do a little pre-record. And we'll probably revisit it the following week.
Yeah, Susan's going to be playing the piano.
The piano,
Our cook.
man,
We call them the
it's
singing
exciting
cooks.
stuff. Exciting stuff. So go out there, tell them you want the morning drive special, and because that helps us out as well. Lets them know that their sponsorship is not not gone unfruitful.
Right.
So.
Jonathan Edwards, good morning.
Is that the guy that is a psychic?
No, he's he's far from it. He and his wife and another gentleman, they have definitely gospel.
Steamy Joe Cafe.
Definitely gospel.
224 West Main
I'm
Street
sorry,
in Branson.
Jonathan, if I messed that up, but they're at the Majestic Steakhouse, or what used to be. I don't know what
Morning,
they're going to
Steve.
call it now.
Susan
But anyway,
Burrows, Marsha Holland, Scott Holland. Good to see you guys. Welcome
Stacy
to the party.
Wedicking just said that her dad got hurt on a lawnmower yesterday, so we need to pray for her dad.
Oh no!
So I don't know what happened.
There's so many. I wonder how many people ended up in the ER on the 4th of July.
With
Probably a
fireworks,
lot,
with
yeah, probably a
fingers
lot.
gone, or I hope not. I mean, I really don't.
There's
Well,
a lot of fireworks, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
there-
haven't heard that many fireworks ever.
You know what? They said that L.A. they were really upset, but they said that there was a bunch of fireworks in L.A. all over, and I guess there was $50,000 fine if you did it,
And people did it
Did
anyways.
anyway.
and So, but it was exploding around us.
I'm hoping it's because they don't want to start fires
Um,
in LA.
Well, I'm sure at most cities for a long time you couldn't shoot fireworks within city limits, but they
Right.
recently changed that here in Springfield. I know it's not against the law anymore.
Well, the 3rd and the 4th, you can up until midnight, from 7 a.m. to midnight, you can shoot the fireworks off, and then after that, and then they cut it off at midnight anyway. But, and they were really good about it. They didn't really shoot. I mean, there was a few firecrackers and stuff, but for the most part, they obeyed the law.
So it's the same in Branson?
Yeah, Branson and Hollister.
So I titled today's show,
Yes.
I Don't Do Math Good. And
Thank you.
I wanted to, well, number one, obviously grammar's not that great either. I wanted to kind of visit the fact that when we're kids and we're in school, we're like, why are we learning this? We're not going to use this in real life.
I felt the same way.
Until every day.
Until every day, everything is math. Everything is math.
Whether
Your
you're
basic
using it in food.
addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Those are your basics. Now, do you find yourself doing any algebra whenever you're building stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Fractions.
Oh, yeah. All the
fractions. Yeah, fractions, reducing fractions.
Every time. You can't build something without using algebra.
You can't do anything without using
Basic algebra.
And the yardstick, not yardstick, but the measuring tape, that helps, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
The square.
Yeah.
Yes.
All your tables for stairs.
When you're a kid, that just serves as a pretend gun.
I took wood shop.
Where'd you take it to?
Took it to a long, far
Did you
away
fit it in a backpack or?
I tried. Hey, I made a tie rack for my dad for Father's
you?
Day. Yep.
Anytime you're trying to figure out how much wood you're going to use or any material at all that you're going to use in a project, you need to use algebra.
Yep.
And finding out where to cut.
Yeah, exactly.
In that case, you're wanting x plus x or x times x or x divided by x equals
Why?
y, and y is the where you're going to cut, right?
Or Why?
I don't know. How?
How?
I'm not good at math.
Or ABC.
And this morning,
Jana is on this morning on my
Jenna.
I mean, I don't use
Jenna,
the
I'm
specific
coming to
letters
Michigan.
that you use to
I'll be
describe.
there.
But you use
Thursday.
the actual where you're trying to find. This is where I want to cut. How many lumber? That's
If I have 5 braces in a
Good morning,
span
Jennifer.
and they're a certain length, I need to figure out how much
lumber to
material I need for that. But then
get
also
without waste.
5
Morning.
doesn't really
Morning,
divide
Scott.
often into.
Anything.
Yeah.
Like evenly,
it's-
obviously,
you
'cause
need
it's
it.
an odd number.
You need those things if you're going to build anything. You need that.
Yeah.
And it really is, and you really don't think of, especially if you're making a cake. You don't want to make a cake with a lot of eggs, less eggs. You know, you just follow the ingredients. You got to learn to read, but then you also have to learn to measure, which means what? It's a number.
And grammar, so that you're not because grammar will tell you the order of things and when to do things and how to add things together. And if you're not aware of the proper grammar, you might just mix everything all in there together, and then it doesn't really work out as well.
No, and that's how you really, and that's why cooks, if you want to have a vocation of a cook, you really need to know your math because
Well, then there's also if you're an executive chef, you're not only worrying about measuring and creating and documenting. Like if you make a dish, if you create a dish, you have to multiply the ingredients as you got to figure. And it's a lot like trying to find out how much lumber, like how big of a cake you're going to make. Let's say how many cups you need. How many, like if one small cake is like half a cup of flour and a quarter cup of sugar, but you want to make a cake twice its size, you'll need to double that.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to reduce fractions or find the common denominator, things like that. But then if you're an executive chef, you're also worrying about the financial portion of, how to estimate how much food you're going to need for a night. Because if you're a high-class restaurant, they only make so much prep for the night. And you don't want to have a bunch thrown away at the end of the night.
Thursday's not the same as Friday.
Nope.
For Thursdays and Fridays usually are paydays.
Bill Kitchen, he's the
Morning,
executive
Jim.
chef at Branson Center Stage, and that man, he is busy doing everything. He puts his hands in a lot of not just ingredients and doing things.
I
but
do too,
he's-
Susan.
So he is a busy guy when it comes to holiday specials and that. He's right there doing the financial, opening up the books and making sure orders are done correctly. And
Yeah. I'll be smoking a tri-tip this weekend.
ooh, did
I went
you get
to
that from Larry?
No.
Okay.
No, this I got from a store that does all their butchering or their cutting and meat cutting there. And I was walking by the case and I saw that tri-tip sitting there, pre-trimmed, beautiful marbling. I mean, just
Ooh.
I actually, was like, and then I looked at it, and then all of a sudden in my head I hear, "Hello, is it me you're looking for?" You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I can see it in your yeah. That's,
Picture of Lionel Richie. No.
Yeah, picture of Lionel Richie staring at me. Lionel Richie, if he were a tri-tip roast.
From the ceiling.
Hello.
Now, what if you're wondering what a tri-tip is? It is like the most tender like brisket that you can get,
Oh man, why'd
and
you
they
say?
call it a tri-tip because it's got 3 points to it. 3 tips.
Where do you live again?
You know where I live. I know. And I'm not going to do anything fancy to it. I'm just going to a little pink Himalayan salt and some pepper, and I'm going to throw it on that smoker real low, real slow for just a few hours, because that's one of those things, kind of like a filet mignon. You don't want to overcook it.
Ooh, no. What about rub? Is there any kind of rub that you?
I mean, if I wanted to put a rub on it, I could, like, garlic and paprika and things like that. But no, I can't do my brown sugar.
oh,
But that's okay. This is a tri-tip. I want to go classic. Like they didn't have all kinds of fancy stuff back whenever they first started slaughtering cattle and eating their meat.
right.
I want to go back to the basics. Like I want to get a T-bone that thick and
Oh.
throw it directly on the burning coals and cook it that way, like they did back in old days.
And then it takes you,
You know what I
forever
mean?
to cut it. You're cutting all the way down. But hey, I like a thick steak anyway.
So So I'm pretty sure that you'll want to come and try that brisket whenever I'm done with it. Yeah, because I mean the marbling on it is so. I think I got to.
But by the time I get back, it'll be all gone.
Slaughterhouse, you can
Yeah,
get that
it's
kind of
only
stuff.
like 2.8 pounds.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I can't say that.
And they're very expensive. They're very expensive. But it worth it. I mean, I could have spent $50 on a 10-pound brisket, but I spent half of that on almost 3-pound tri-tip. So, but I mean, the meat quality is better. And it's funny, the meat cutter was like, okay, now, because I told him I'm going to smoke this. He's like, okay. And he looked concerned, like I was going to ruin this cut of meat. I said, don't worry. I don't really go over 150 degrees when I'm cooking something like this. He goes, okay, good. And you can see the relief, like when he found out I kind of know what I'm doing. Because I'm not going to just throw it on a grill and cook
I
it.
bet you it was like looking at a ghost or something.
Because I had some filet mignon one time, and I was getting ready to cook them.
Good morning,
and
Keith.
Even the person who bought the filet mignon to cook said, I want mine well done. I said, well, then you're not getting a filet mignon. I'll make you a T-bone, and even then, I said, I'm not cook. I just can't bring myself to cook a filet well done.
No. Oh, that would just ruin it.
But her mom came and she took a bite of the filet and she goes, that is the most perfectly cooked filet. And that was high praise because her mom didn't like me.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Well, you got to be patient. If you want the meat to taste good, you got to be patient. Now, I'm telling you, I really want to get like a big steak, a thick steak, and just throw it on the coals. Like get the coals good, red and hot,
Oh man.
and then like get what do they call those things? The bags that a bellow.
Yeah.
A bellow, and blow all the ash off of the top of the coals. Throw it on there for a few minutes, and then flip it over and put it on the other side.
With a baked potato in a tin aluminum foil, like roll it up.
Oh yeah,
and
when I'm smoking, usually if it's going to be a few hours, I'll just go ahead and I'll take a potato, seal it up in aluminum foil,
right.
and with butter
Right.
and salt,
Yep.
and just throw it there as far away from the fire as you can, and leave it on there the whole time. Do not poke holes in the foil. Leave it
alone.
Leave it alone. Like Jay had my baked potatoes that one day. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The baked taters?
I don't know if Rachel's watching yet, but she did an awesome job. We did a steak and baked potato on the fire on the coals, and we left the baked potato on there. And I'll tell you what, the skin, we left the skin on. The skin just peeled right off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ours, the ones that I made, the skin was like caramelized in some places, and it was really good.
Mm.
Remember those? Whenever I smoked the brisket,
They were
hey
good.
Bruno.
or I smoked the
The
pork.
foil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's basically, it was crisped up. The
Mhm.
skins were so good.
very good.
Let me see here. I gotta find I just want to show Jay the picture of this if I can find it's hard to see the marbling on that thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Oh,
The marbling on it.
Remember yesterday, a picture of my.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny
was
and I
Johnny
and you.
Rooster. Yeah.
That was funny.
I was gonna cook it yesterday, but I ended up running out of time because something that's that small that you don't want to overcook. You don't want to leave it on there for like
No, something like that you don't.
you probably about 3 hours worth of smoke on it.
And I'll explain to you about Stacy's dad later.
Okay.
It's maybe not a good thing for me to find out how how he injured his leg and.
Now, can we think of anything else in school that we learned that we don't really use today?
Penmanship.
Most people, American history.
Oh, history. History's actually, it's funny. History or government, when people go on the street and they say, do you know who this man is? They're like, and it could be Abraham Lincoln, it could be George Washington, it could be even one of our presidents. And so that's really sad, though. That's the sad part.
Yeah, but they show you the worst ones. There are plenty of people that get it, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
there is.
But there are people like there's a guy going around saying whenever they was doing all those anti-Trump protests back in like 2017 or what have you, a guy was going around saying, "What do you think about who was Donald Trump Jr. Hunting the Triceratops out of hunting a Triceratops?" And they said, "Well, that's an endangered animal. That's wrong." It's like,
Respecting how authority is something that they used to teach you in school.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
But a lot
yeah.
of people don't use it now.
On telephone etiquette.
Telephone etiquette, yeah. Though the etiquette's completely different now.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, your school taught you telephone etiquette?
Yes, they did. That's how I learned. It was like, "Hi, you've reached the McAllister residence. Stephen speaking. How can I help
yeah,
you?"
yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
I felt like I was at a restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to go through all that just by answering the phone. And I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, they had little classes where you would do that.
Yeah, they had telephones. The ones
That was
that
back
had
when
the cor-
telephones were new, right?
For
Yeah,
me,
that-
that was like first or second grade. I
that's
think,
when they
maybe third
actually
grade.
had cords attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like watching the videos of like young people. They're put in like their dad plugged in a
Oh, that was
rotary
so
phone.
that was
and
so
said,
funny.
Make a call with this, and they couldn't figure it out.
He had a box on it, and he goes, "I want you to do this." And he opened up the cover, and it was a telephone. They're like, "What's that?" I want you to make a call using this.
Yeah. And then there's a classic one where the guy sent his daughter in to ask for blinker fluid,
Oh, I remember that.
and he had it on video like the entire time. She walked in there. She was in there for about 5 minutes, and then came back out. And she was so mad. She was beet red because she was embarrassed, and he was just laughing to the point. I mean, that's pretty funny.
It reminded me of the days of Navy when you didn't know anything about the Navy. They would say, "Go get the captain's key."
Oh yeah, yeah. And then there's also things like you always, and every job has it.
Or an ET punch.
Like where you send somebody after, like when I worked at a sawmill, sent the board the board stretcher. We need to get the board stretcher. These ones are just a little bit too short, and everybody was in on it. They would send them to me, and then I would send them to the supervisor on the other end of the sawmill, and then he would send them back to me, and then the joke would be that would be the joke, but then. It was pretty funny usually, but that's almost as funny as when I worked for a grocery store in Willard, and they had me shaking the ranch, all the different dressings, and I said, "Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to shake each one really well, the first couple in each row, and move them all forward and face it, make it look real nice. But you got to really shake them." I was shaking dressings for an hour till I realized they were sitting there laughing their butts off at me. Then I felt kind of sheepish.
Well,
That was pretty funny.
This is a
I'm
little.
like
This
double
is a
handing
little. Shake, 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 shake.
Morning, Priscilla.
Yeah.
How to count change back, Steve Schultz says.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. It was. Janice said, "What do you think on the national anthem not being sang in school no more?"
Oh, yeah.
They don't even do. In fact, and I'm not bringing this
Not
up as
anymore,
a
Priscilla.
racist thing. I want to be careful, folks. This is not a race. I'm just repeating what I'm hearing.
Eventually, yes, but not now.
Well, in the history of it and when it was written.
Right.
Where
With
the
the
writer
Black
was.
national anthem, doing it for 1 week before the football game begins. The NFL wanting to, their producer putting together the Black national anthem, and so many people are like, "Well, is there a white national anthem? Is there an Asian?" They're trying to compare it, but
This is the times we're living in. It's just
so we need to pray for our country. We really do.
Well, I don't know what the Black national anthem is.
Right.
So I wouldn't be able to comment on whether or not it's a good song or
but
a
it
good
sounds
anthem.
absurd, but it might be pretty good.
I mean, I don't know what it says even, so I mean, I'm not going to judge it.
Right.
But the thing about the national anthem is it was written at sea while somebody was watching
Oh no,
a
Steve.
war
No, I can't.
for our
Right.
independence.
Wasn't that Francis Scott Key?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I know that when I first started school, they taught us the national anthem, and they taught us about the writer and what he was.
Pledge of Allegiance
seeing
isn't
and-
done in school anymore either. Now, Christian schools, they still do it. I know
Yeah.
that, but they don't really practice the pledge in school anymore. They used to do the announcements at the beginning of the school.
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then there was a video.
Yep.
Yeah. The national anthem wasn't really sang. Once I got in high school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance, and we weren't required to sing the national anthem. They didn't make us sing the national anthem, but the Pledge of Allegiance, we all through elementary school,
Yep.
every day. And then if somebody had a problem saying "One Nation Under God," they were allowed to sit down and not participate in the national anthem. Which I get that.
Yeah, so that went away probably in the middle '80s, late '80s, as far as the Pledge of Allegiance, because I don't remember doing the Pledge of Allegiance after elementary school.
Well, I mean, I did I did it.
I did it through high school.
Yeah, and we did it through high school as well, and I graduated in '99.
I think they might have.
Oh well.
The national anthem, though,
Oh yeah, the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. Right.
now they played it. I think if I
Throughout the
remember
speaker
correctly.
system
Yeah,
in the schools and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so the national anthem. Yeah, I'm not sure I did do that through high school. I know we did. We did it at sporting events.
I sang it a lot at sporting events. I sang it at
graduate. Well, no. Did they do it at graduation? I can't remember if they. I know they did a prayer. They don't even do prayers.
Oh yeah, no, prayer.
Prayer
Some
is
do.
completely
Yeah,
out.
some do. Like I remember one time there was a tragic car accident, and there were 3 boys that a lot of people in our school knew that had gotten into a
You're
car
not an
accident
airhead,
and perished. And everybody was having a rough go of it, and there was the guy. And I know that the ladies of the school knew that this person was going to say a prayer over the intercom, but they didn't know. And so he says, he does the announcements. He says, "Now I'd like to say a prayer." And he said a prayer over it, and they turned it off right after he was finished. They got to it to turn it off right after he was finished praying. Right after he said amen. That was the last word he heard on that. But
Yeah, I do remember hearing a story about that.
that, I'm not going to mention really which school that was or the people involved, because I don't think there's anything going to come of it. But still,
Yeah, that was a very. I think that the Lord really was in, and they allowed. And then there was one person who actually started praying, and they cut it off. They shut the mic off right at the very beginning. They didn't want him praying on the internet, or over the loudspeaker. So, but those are the good old days. We all wish, we want to all wish to have that come back, but I don't know. Jana, you're not an airhead. You're fine. She was talking about a black national anthem, I think, instead of what do you think about the national anthem. I think that's what she was talking about when she was asking that. But you're fine, Jana. Love you.
okay, so I wanted to let everybody know, and this is important, if you are planning on attending Axe Fest this year, the seating is now very limited. If you want to come up here and participate and sit here, so you need to register. Go online to axemediagroup.com, and you'll find your way to register there by going to PayPal. You pay for the registration fee, and then whenever you pay the registration fee, and it takes you, when you put how much you're going to pay, you'll have to do one for each day. It's $25 a day. It'll go to the make a note portion, and you'll put in there Axe Fest registration, and if you're going to be there the whole day, do 101, 102, 103, and 104 for day 1, right? And then on day 2, on the add a note portion, you'll put Axe Fest registration 201, 202, 203, and 204. I believe we've got like 4 seats in each day left. So you need to hurry up and get it done.
Because it'll go fast.
If you're having trouble, let me know, and I can try to walk you through the process via text or what have you. But yes, you do need to register ASAP. Even if you're going to watch it online, you need to register for it. And then if you're wanting to watch it online, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll let you know how that's going to work, because you'll have you pay the registration fee, you register, you watch it online, write down what each class was about. It doesn't have to be like the life story of every person in there or anything like that. Just a brief description, and then send it in to us, and that way you'll get credit. If you're attending Axe University, there will be credit hours involved. And you'll learn more about that on at AxeFest as well. So go on there, axemediagroup.com. Scroll down. There'll be a link. It'll take you to, it'll say AxeFest registration. There'll be a link. You click on it. It'll take you right to the PayPal portion, and that's how everybody's registering.
Well, Jana,
And we will be COVID-19 procedure compliant. So be planning on wearing masks. You're going to have your temperature checked before you walk into this building. If you don't register, you won't be allowed even in the room. So there you go.
Jana, I wish you could be here too. She wishes she could be here. So what you just heard, Jana, you can actually watch online. So you can't be here in person, but you can still watch online.
So yeah, there's that. How you doing over there, Jay?
Good.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
How's that? That what is that? That protein drink that you're drinking there?
It tasted sugar free.
It did. I don't think
Yeah.
it was.
That's
It
good.
was. I mean, it was good chocolate taste, but it tasted sugar free,
You know,
which that's
there-
bad.
when you're
for
doing
me.
a drink like that, there's just some chocolate drinks or some flavored
Hey,
drinks that
no,
taste.
Steve.
Huh?
It's not good.
I didn't think so.
He hates. All right, so if I
He
had
asked me
something that was,
about the shake, and I said it tasted sugar free, and you said that's good.
if
It's not good.
if I had
But I mean, you.
Oh, I know what you're
if I
saying.
had a drink that was loaded with real sugar and I handed it to him, and he took a sip, and then I said that's sugar free, he would go, "Oh, pff, yuck," and he'd spit it out. That's how
But
much
if you
he
didn't say anything,
hates
he would.
sugar free.
No, I wouldn't spit it out if it didn't taste sugar free.
Oh, what the-
You're,
really
you're
did.
putting
I was
words in
trying
his
to-
mouth.
well, I was trying to express his dislike for sugar-free stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
I
blame
mean-
you. I don't like sugar free anyway.
The
you know.
aftertaste.
See, I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is
I
some.
mean, it's not horrible. I just don't like it. I mean, it's
I
just
mean,
not
I've had
what I would
sugar-free.
prefer.
But
But you know what's not sugar-free and absolutely delicious?
what?
Cinnamon rolls.
They are
Yes.
delicious.
Cinnamon rolls at our sponsors restaurant, which is Steamy Joe Cafe, 224 West Main Street in Branson, Missouri, 417-320-3046. They are a proud sponsor, and we're proud to have them as a sponsor here on the Morning Drive. You go in there till the 10th. You go in there and you say, hey, I want the Morning Drive special. You'll get buy one, get one free cinnamon roll. And these are not small cinnamon rolls, folks.
No,
They're like this big around.
they're bigger
And they're
in
about
Texas.
like that tall. And they are absolutely delicious, mouth-watering, moist.
Yes.
So you know how when you get to the outer edge, it's usually dry and kind of crunchy and stale? No, not these. These are not. Jay, you ate 3 of them that one day, or
Yeah.
2.5. You couldn't
2.5.
eat 3. So if you eat 2 of these yourself, number one, you might want to make sure you get your blood sugar checked.
exactly.
And then the sugar crash might be kind of bad later on, because they are very sweet and delicious and delectable.
Well, I had 2 the first day for breakfast, and then the next day I had 3. I microwaved them the second day, and
Yeah,
yeah,
with a
they were
little
good.
pat of butter on them. Oh,
I didn't put butter on them, but they were 2.5 was all I could get down.
Actually, I've had that after I've had the 2+2+2 breakfast special.
Yeah, I get
And-
that. I get that sea salt and olive oil butter, and I put a drizzle on. Put a pat on there, and it just melts and it makes
so
it
I don't know why, but
juicy.
after biscuits and gravy and eggs and bacon,
It sounds so good.
oh, and really the
And their
biscuits and
biscuits
gravy.
are their biscuits made from scratch as
Yes. Oh, and there's not
well? Just like the
flaky,
cinnamon
it's-
rolls are made from scratch.
Right, they're very moist. Now the cinnamon rolls are made actually in Kansas or Arkansas City, Kansas, but then they're brought down here to actually finish the baking and putting the drizzle on and all the good stuff. But the special that breakfast, you know,
2
and then-
plus 2 plus 2.
yeah, 2 plus 2.
It's definitely, if you go away hungry on that, then
But the flake, it's not just flaky, but it's so moist like the cinnamon rolls,
Yeah.
the biscuits. And the
so
gr-
it's flaky and moist and buttery probably.
oh yeah.
So, all right, now that we've made your mouths water, go to Steamy Joe Cafe at 224 West Main Street in Branson, Missouri. If you want to order a larger amount of like the brownies or cinnamon rolls for like an office party or just to be nice to all your employees for breakfast, give them a call at least 1 day's notice, and they can have them. They'll be warm whenever you get them.
Yes.
And
The steam was
they
rolling
are
off when I brought them up here.
amazing.
The steam was rolling off when I picked them up.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they were amazing.
I've never had that. I've never gone anywhere where steam was rolling off your
Well,
baked good.
It's Steamy Joe Cafe.
Makes sense.
Check it out today.
Please.
So there you go. There's that. I just had to say something because we were talking about sugar-free and stuff, and Steamy Joe, that is not sugar-free.
No, there are sugar-free things.
There are sugar-free
But
options there.
A
Yeah,
lot of them are not.
yeah. But I mean, that's okay. If you're in Branson on vacation or whatever, are you really worrying about?
And it's
The
a comfortable.
calories?
And it's a
sugar-
comfortable
no.
setting. You can actually go on a swinging
little
chair
former-
or swinging. Huh?
It's like a little former parlor, like a home.
Yeah.
At home, like whenever you would entertain guests, everybody would go into the parlor. I mean, they didn't have TVs back when that house was made, probably. So
1906.
yeah, well, they may have had TVs, but just barely. No,
right
they didn't.
downtown, out of the way, in the little yellow house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So it was.
Susan Burrow says we're making her hungry.
Who did? Oh, Susan. Who'd you say?
Susan Burrow says y'all are making us hungry.
Susan.
Steve says they do it every morning on the TV with little kids. He's talking about, I don't know why Steve sounds like Ross Perot. He was talking about the
Mic drop.
the national anthem and the,
Oh.
and the which now what I want to do. It's my Ross Perot.
Right.
Now let me finish, please. Let me finish. Now I'm finished.
Was that KY3?
I don't know
Who
what.
does that? Or Color 10?
I don't know. Who does that, Steve? I don't have regular TV.
I don't either. I think
I don't
that's why
either.
I'm a little bit out of the loop. on
We're
that
all a
stuff.
little out of. Well, I mean, I just get so frustrated with news.
Yeah.
You know, it's just frustrating to me. Like, they'll make sure the cameras are recording for the potential violence, but then whenever people
Oh,
are getting
right.
along, they turn the cameras off. I mean,
Oh,
come
well,
on.
of course. Or shaking of the hands across lines.
Or hugging.
Oh,
They don't show that.
they show them beating the poop out of them.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. A very good way of putting it.
Poor Jana. She's diabetic and she can't have sugar.
I understand that. There's a lot of diabetics out there.
I was going to ask,
Just be sure and bring extra insulin. Just
you-
saying.
especially for there.
My grandpa, bless his heart, he would take an insulin shot and then wouldn't eat. It's like, okay. That's
I'm
why
afraid
we
to eat.
started. That's when we started doing his insulin for him.
Yeah, I'm afraid to eat.
He always told me that I was the best shot giver. Of course, then he told Dad that too, and then whoever gave him the shot.
You had the best shot ever.
I gave him, I mean, I'm
Anybody
just
that
like
wasn't him.
straight in.
Anybody that wasn't him.
Anybody that wasn't him gave the best shots ever. I mean, I wouldn't like to have to. I mean, I guess you get used to it after a while. It's almost like, when you poke your finger to get to do the blood sugar. I don't actually have to monitor my blood sugar like that.
That's good.
It's
So-
easy just to have one of those little compact things, where you just snap.
They have them. They have them that plug into your phone now.
What?
Yeah, they have a device that plugs into your phone that reads your blood sugar in an app on your phone.
Wow.
So
Very
I
cool.
don't know if I trust it or not.
So
But
do
I mean,
I, Jana.
technology, man.
I do. I drink Mountain Dew too. Jana drinks Mountain Dew, and I said I do too.
Channel 3 or 10. That's what he said. And I think those are owned by the same people.
Do you
Is it-
drink the different flavored Mountain Dews, Jana?
Mountain Dew actually has the most sugar in it of any soda.
Is it Red Bull? They said that they got more sugar than an energy drink, and I can't remember.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. They've also got all those are horrible for you. Those are even the sugar-free ones.
Oh,
those
yeah.
are horrible for you.
They're not good at all
No,
for you.
no, they're bad for your heart, and so.
I heard they make
Some
your
of the-
teeth rot too.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's highly acidic.
Mm-hmm.
Highly acidic. Your best bet is just to drink water with electrolytes.
Hey,
and
man.
coffee. And coffee.
Yes, coffee.
Highly acidic.
Yeah, but it's not that acidic, is it?
It's not as acidic as soda.
No.
No, soda is very corrosive. Very corrosive. Like I had somebody telling me there was a particular brand of energy drink that he used to haul from the factory, and he said where the stuff spills, it eats the concrete.
Wow.
So
What?
that's what you're putting in your bodies, folks.
Wow.
Put cinnamon rolls in your body instead. That's the safest way to be.
Yep.
Yes, it's Steamy Joe.
Forget
Buy one, get one free.
forget about the energy drink. Just go to Steamy Joe and get a cinnamon roll.
Yeah. That's. I mean,
Get
there's
filled up that way.
There's probably less sugar in there than
Probably.
there's in Mountain Dew.
Hmm.
Like my dentist has all the different sodas, the empty bottles, lined up on the wall in front of the window so you can very clearly see it. And actual sugar in each one, the amount of sugar that's in those specific sizes.
So
and
he
beverages.
does that on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very good way of.
And he also has a candy buyback program for Halloween. Like,
Oh, I heard of that.
your kids could come in and turn their candy in and get money from the dentist for it.
Math.
Math.
See, math does work, or math is out there every day. You just don't realize that when the teachers say, "Oh, one day you're gonna need it," and we're all like, "Yeah, right."
Less sugar equals more teeth and more money.
Yeah. I think I saw a commercial on TV and it said, any
Algebra.
ingredient that sounds like gross is bad for your teeth. Bad for your body. Sucralose, fructose, glucose, anything that rhymes with gross. And it shows this person's teeth like rotting. It's a cartoon character. But hey, I was addicted to sweets. I would take. All right, so
Put that cartoon figure in your head.
I would make
Yeah, never
I would
forget it.
make tea, and I'd put so much sugar in it. It was basically tea flavored sugar water. An
Sounds like
adult
what
would
I
say,
would
"Hey,
do."
let me have a sip of that tea," and they would spit it out. That's how sweet I had it. It was that sweet.
Rachel does the same thing with coffee. She said, "Coffee, it would only be all this stuff. There'd probably be that
you
much
the
coffee
same thing
left,
with
or
coffee.
like this and." this
When I went
much-
to AA with Mom, that was my favorite part because they didn't put a limit on how much sugar and cream I could put in my coffee, and I would. I mean, those little styrofoam cups, half full of cream and sugar.
Yep.
A lot of sugar, more sugar than cream, but man, I was wired. By the end of the night, I was bouncing off the walls, and then I would
surprised
crash
Rachel wasn't doing that at
with
church.
with a glucose, with a glucose coma later or whatever, or
Insulin?
hyperglycemic.
Yeah,
whatever.
when you kind of crash, you just.
Yeah. Doesn't feel
Man, I
good
tell you
either.
what, unsweet tea, that is good. I like unsweet tea.
It is good. Once you start drinking it all the time, it's like you don't go back to sugar tea.
One thing I really enjoy in the summertime is iced coffee.
Ooh, yeah.
And you can use coffee, half and half, and ice. And the ice usually waters down the coffee, so you'll want to use what we used was instant coffee, because you add a couple of extra scoops of that, and it's super strong. You'll be like zinging.
Yeah,
all
I
the time.
remember instant coffee. My mom used to have.
They still make it. I have some in my cupboard at home.
Wow.
It's a lot easier than making a pot of
Yeah,
coffee.
the little glass jars.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. They were glass when
Oh yeah,
when I got them.
most of them are plastic, but I have one that's a glass, and here's how I know it was glass, Steve.
Nescafe,
I was-
I think.
I
has
was-
glass.
Yeah, I was walking through. Not all of them are glass though,
No,
No.
a lot of them were
but
plastic.
I was walking through a particular grocery store that is well known, and I was carrying it and something else over here, something else in this hand. I should have got a basket. Steve, I should have got a basket. Jay, I should have got a basket.
You should have got a basket.
I dropped that thing. I mean, I was like this, and I tried to catch it, and I tried to catch it with my foot. I ended up kicking it even further, and it just goes, and it was one of the biggest things of instant coffee that they had. Clean up, aisle 7. And then the next day,
That stuff is slick on the floor.
Oh, it's slick.
yeah, and if you mop it up, it just turns into like this black
Coffee?
goo. I mean, it makes your
It's
makes your
coffee.
mouth water. You want some coffee by
Coffee
the time you're
syrup.
It is actually really good though, and it's not. It's a generic brand, but it's the Colombian flavored. Basically, what it is, coffee, really super
Freeze-dried.
concentrated coffee that's been freeze dried. So you just have like the concentrated crystals. Hence, juice crystals.
I hear you, Jana.
What'd she say?
She said, I drink lots of water, but I got to have my due.
I drink a lot of water too.
I do.
A lot of water, Pia.
That's
what I call it.
It's funny. Well, it's not funny, but Rachel and I are bringing home more water, the gallons of water more than we are a 3-liter of pop.
Yeah, I'll go through 2 of those big jugs there a day.
You
Well,
have-
at least 1 3/4. I pee a lot.
Yes.
I pee a lot.
Well, that was
So-
good.
Billy Burris,
TMI.
welcome to. It's not. I mean, it's gross to witness, but I mean, other than that, I mean,
It's like math.
it's like math. You're gonna have to every day
Whether
go
you
to the
like it-
bathroom. When you're right here, you're American. When you're bathroom, European.
Well, what about Russian? You're Russian to go peeing.
Russian to go peeing. So yeah, it's time for us to get out of here. We got
Oh.
Randy Barr coming up next. Who's going to be your guest today, Randy? Dr. Paul Collins?
Part 2.
Part 2. Hopefully he remembered. Did you get in touch
no.
with him?
Confirm? What?
Well, yeah, I texted him and said, want me to pick you up? He said, no thanks.
Oh, okay. So he'll be here.
Yeah. He might be running a little behind.
Watch
but
him
he'll
show up at 9:30.
That's probably what it'll
Brian
be.
Sizemore, welcome to the party.
What's the show supposed to be next? But wasn't
The
there
Spirit in America?
wasn't
with
there
Randy
a
Barr?
show between the two?
No,
oh,
that's
no,
that's
I'm
on
thinking
Friday.
of Friday.
Friday, The Morning Mouth, which you'll want to watch this week's
You'll
Morning
really-
Mouth with Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt.
You won't want to miss it.
No, and
really.
it's also talking about like the divisiveness of what's going on in the news in the world today,
right.
and overcoming that. The title is How to Fight, and he also talks about when it's appropriate to fight and the proper way to fight,
Right.
not physically. I mean, we talk about all that, so it's going to be great. It's going to be an information and emotion-packed 30 minutes,
It really is.
and you're going to look at my face like the whole entire time.
The Incredible Hulk.
So.
And
Let me just
I
have us
won't
get out of
see
here.
you guys for 3 days, but I'll talk to you on the phone maybe in the next couple days.
So you'll be back next Wednesday?
I'll be back next Monday
Next Monday.
in
Like
time
it-
for my show.
Awesome. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the Morning Drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for Randy Barr and The Spirit in America. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
and this has been
The Morning
Drive.